Hello guys, welcome to Organic Chemistry. In the previous video, we started with the IUPAC nomenclature of organic compounds, and we have seen every organic compound's IUPAC name has essentially three parts: word root, suffix and prefix. And we had a clear picture on what basis we write the word root, prefix and suffix. From today onwards, we are going to see the nomenclature of different classes of organic compounds, which means we have different functional groups in the organic compound. So each functional group, it is classified as a different class. So we will be seeing how to name all these different classes of organic compounds. So let's begin with the basic hydrocarbons, alkanes. What are hydrocarbons? Organic compounds containing only carbon and hydrogen are called hydrocarbons. If the carbon in that hydrocarbon is bonded to another carbon only by a single bond, then we call that hydrocarbon as saturated hydrocarbon. And these hydrocarbons may be either cyclic or acyclic, which means open chain. In IUPAC system, saturated acyclic hydrocarbons are called alkanes. So in the IUPAC names of alkanes, we get that name by adding the suffix ane, ane, to the word root, which indicates the number of carbon atom. So we are going to see the IUPAC names of alkanes, and I tell you how we will write that. You have to count the number of carbon atoms so that you can decide on the word root, and then since these are all alkanes, you're going to add the suffix ane. Before going into the IUPAC nomenclature of alkanes, let's have a short recall on the word root depending upon the number of carbon atoms. If you have one carbon atom in your organic compound, what is the word root? Meth. See, meth is the word root. 2 carbon atoms, eth. 3 carbon atoms, prop. 4 bute. 5 pent. 6 hex. 7 hept. 8 oct. 9 non and 10 dec. So these are the word root. And how do you decide on the word root? By looking at the number of carbon atoms in the parent chain of the given organic compound. So since these are all alkanes, why they are all alkanes? Because they are all acyclic hydrocarbons, which means open chain hydrocarbons, which means containing only carbon and hydrogen, and each carbon is bonded to another carbon by a single bond. If it is not given, then it is understood it is a single bond. If there is a double or triple bond, we would have mentioned it here. So all these carbons are bonded only by single bond and they are alkanes. So as you are naming alkanes, what suffix you should add to the root word? ane, alkane. See, ane. So 1 carbon atom, meth. ane, methane. 2 carbon atoms, eth. Ethane. ane is added to the root word eth. 3 carbon atoms, prop. ane, propane. 4 carbon atoms, butane. 5 carbon atoms, pent. ane, pentane. 6 carbon atoms, hexane. 7 carbon atoms. See, 1, 5 are there. 5 CH2. So we are just consolidating it and writing it as 5 times. Or you can write it this way also. So that would give you a long chain. So CH3, 1 carbon atom. Here 5. 5 plus 1, 6. 6 plus 1, 7 carbon atoms. So hept. So all are bonded only by single bond. So this is heptane. ane suffix is added to the word root. So now 1 carbon atom, 6 carbon atom, 1 more carbon atom. So totally 8 octane. Here 9 carbon atoms, nonane. 10 carbon atoms. 1 plus 8 is 9. 9 plus 1 carbon atom, 10. So decane. So these are the IUPAC nomenclature of alkanes. IUPAC name of alkanes. When you say alkanes, there are 2 types of alkanes: straight chain alkanes, branched chain alkanes. All these are examples of straight chain alkanes. We don't have any branch here. So naming this is very simple. You have understood. Just counting the number of carbon atoms, give the root word and then add the suffix ane. So this is how you name the straight chain alkanes. Now let's see what are branched chain alkanes and how to name them. So now the rules for IUPAC nomenclature of branched chain alkanes. See, this is a straight chain alkane. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 carbon atoms. If it is CH2 here, hexane would be the name. But here one hydrogen is replaced by a substituent CH3. I've taught you in the previous video about these substituents, and this is called as methyl. So in this carbon there is a methyl group. So we call this as branched chain alkane. Previously we have seen all straight chain alkanes. So these are branched chain alkane. Now I'll tell you the rules one by one, how to name these branched chain alkanes. These are the basics. If you are very clear with these basics, then it will be very easy for you to name any class of organic compounds, which means compounds having any other functional groups. So remember, alkanes in which at least one carbon atom is linked to 3 or 4 other carbon atoms are called branched chain. See, in straight chain, one carbon atom will be branched to one carbon atom or 2 carbon atoms. See, this carbon is bonded to one carbon atom. This carbon atom is bonded to 2 other carbon atom. But if a carbon in an alkane is bonded to 3 or 4 carbon atoms, then we call that as branched chain alkanes. Look at this carbon. This carbon is bonded to 1, 2 and 3 carbon atoms. So now this is branched alkane. So the first rule to name a branched chain alkane is choose the longest chain. We call this as longest chain rule. You have to select the longest continuous chain of carbon atoms, and we call this as the parent chain, while all the other carbon atoms which are not included in the parent chain are called branch chains or side chains or substituents. Now look at this example. See, we have a carbon chain here. This is a carbon chain, and you can take this also as a carbon chain, continuous chain. So I'm starting the numbering from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So in this chain, I have 6 carbon atoms. I repeat the sentence again. You have to select the longest continuous chain of carbon atoms. This is continuous. Suppose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is not continuous. You have taken a diversion here and you have taken a break here. So this is not continuous anymore if you go and count this carbon atom. This is continuous. Same way, if you start from here, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is also continuous. Again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is also continuous. When you take this as a parent chain, this is treated as the side chain or the substituent. If you choose this as the parent chain, say 1, 2, 3, 4 as the parent chain, this is treated as a substituent. If you choose this as a parent chain, this will be treated as a substituent. See, when you are taking this as a parent chain, 2 carbon atoms, this will be called as ethyl, substituent. If you are taking this as the parent chain, this will be taken as a substituent, which will be called as propyl, 3 carbon atoms. Propyl, these are all substituents. If it is the alkane, you call that as ethane, methane and propane. If it is a substituent where one hydrogen atom will be removed, then we call that as methyl, ethyl and propyl. But you cannot choose this or this as the parent chain because it is not the longest chain. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 carbon atom. So this chain has 6 carbon atoms. So you are taking this as the parent chain, because here if you take this 1, 2, 3, 4, just 4 carbon atoms. Here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, only 5 carbon atoms. So any of these cannot be chosen as the parent chain because you have to choose the longest continuous chain as the parent chain. So this will obviously be the parent chain. Now look at this example. I have CH3, CH, CH2, CH3. Here in this CH I have CH2, CH3. Here in this CH also I have CH2, CH2, CH3, and again this is bonded to CH2, CH3. Now this is a branched chain alkane. Now let's try with the straight chain. Let's check how many carbon atoms are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 carbon atoms. Okay, keep that in mind. Now start from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 carbon atom in this chain. So already here I had only 5 carbon atom in that chain. Here I am having 6 carbon atoms. Now let me try one more chain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is continuous. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So far I have counted 3 and this is having the more number of carbon atoms starting from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So keep that in mind. Now try from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 carbon atoms. So obviously this is the longest chain and that should be chosen as the parent chain. Again, I'm telling you, select the longest continuous chain of carbon atoms. It doesn't mean that it should be a straight chain. See, I'm starting from here, I'm taking a bend over here and again here, here. But it is the continuous chain, but not a straight chain, but actually a straight chain. But here it is shown as bent. So it is continuous. Starting from this carbon, I'm continuously going to this, here and here. So this is the longest chain. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh wait, this should not be included. This is not in the continuous chain. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 only. So here we had only 5 carbon atoms. Here we had 6 carbon atoms. But here we are having 7 carbon atoms. So this is the longest chain and this should be taken as the parent chain. We cannot include this. Because see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is continuous, not this. So we have 7 carbon atom in this marked area. So I just made this mark so that you could understand which is the longest chain. So the first rule is longest chain rule. So here the root word will be decided by this 6 carbon atoms. So you will have the root name hex. Here 7 carbon atoms. So the root name would be hept. Keep that in mind. The second rule is lowest number rule. You have to number the carbon atoms as just I told you. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Both ways I'm choosing the same chain, but the numbering is different. I can count from this side or this side. So which way should I count? So you have to number these carbon atoms in that parent chain as 1, 2, 3, 4, starting from that end, which gives the lowest possible number to the carbon atom carrying the substituent. So first you have to choose the longest continuous chain as the parent chain. Then you have to number the parent chain in such a way that the substituents get the least position. Now look at this example. See, I've chosen this as the longest chain. Same example. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so if I start numbering from this end, 1, 2, 3, this substituent gets the third position. The third position, I have a methyl group. So this is one way of numbering. Suppose if I'm starting the numbering from this side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The substituent gets the fourth position. But what is the rule? Lowest number rule. The substituents should get the least position. So here it is getting the least position. So the numbering should be from this side and this is wrong. This numbering is not correct. Now, in this second rule, you have another rule called lowest set of locants. Locant means the number that indicates the position of the substituent on the parent chain is called as locant. So here what is the locant? 3. Here 4. I said this is not right because locant should be a lowest number, possible lowest number. So this is the correct way of numbering. Now coming to lowest set of locants, when 2 or more substituents are present in the given organic compound, when you choose the parent chain, then we apply this lowest set of locants rule. According to this rule, when 2 or more different set of locants containing the same number of terms is possible, then that set of locant is the lowest, which when compared term by term with other sets, each in order of increasing magnitude, has the lowest term at the first point of difference. I'll show you an example. See, in order to decide the lowest set of locants, the number of carbon atoms of the parent chain are numbered from all possible directions and a locant is assigned to each substituent from each direction. The set of locants from each direction is then compared term by term till the first point of difference is reached. Now look at this example. See, I've taken this example. the same thing is written here. Now I have numbered from here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is chosen as the parent chain, and I have 3 substituents. See, 1, 2, 3 substituents. So I'm numbering from this side. Same way here I'm numbering from this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And what are the set of locants here? In second position I have 2 methyl groups, so I have to write the number 2 twice. 2, 2. See, in second position 2 substituents, so 2, 2. In fourth position I have a substituent, put 4 here. 2, 2, 4. Again come here. What are the locants here? In second position I have CH3, put 2. In fourth position I have 2 methyl groups, so I am writing the number twice. 4, 4. Now, as I told you, after deciding the set of locants, what are the locants that we have decided? 2, 2, 4, 2, 4, 4. After deciding the set of locants, they are compared term by term till the first point of difference is reached. Now see, term by term, I have 3 terms here, 2, 2, 4. Here I have 3 terms, 2, 2, 4. I am going to compare term by term. So first I have 2, here I have 2. 2, 2 same, so no problem. Now look at the second term. This is 2, this is 4. Which is least? This is least. So this is chosen as the correct set of numbering. So number this parent chain from any direction like this. Here I have done from 2 different directions. From here I have started the number. Here I have started the numbering from here. Then decide on the set of locants and compare each term by term. So when the comparison is started, which set of locant is preferred? That locant which has a lower number at the first point of difference. So when you compare 2 and 2, no difference, so leave it. When you compare the second 2 and 4, which has got the lowest number? This one. So this is the first point of difference, and this has got the lowest number. So this will be chosen as the correct set of locants. So numbering from this side is correct. So this is how you have to follow the set of lowest set of locants rule. So overall, first step, you have to choose the longest parent chain. Second, you have to number the parent chain in such a way that the substituents get the lowest number. If you have more number of substituents, then you have to choose that set of locants which has the lower number at the first point of difference. Now moving on to the next rule. Now that you have chosen the parent chain, numbering is over. Now coming to the name. As we are seeing the name of the branched chain alkane, you have to prefix the name of the substituent, that is the alkyl group is the substituent here. You have to prefix the name of that alkyl group to the name of the parent alkane and then indicate its position by writing before it the number of that carbon atom carrying the substituent. See, look at this example. I've chosen the longest carbon chain, 1, 2, 3, 4. So after choosing the longest chain, I'm numbering it from this way, 1, 2, 3, 4, so that this substituent gets the second position. Suppose if I'm numbering from this side, 1, 2, 3, this gets the third position, then you're violating the lowest number rule. So you have to choose the numbering in such a way that your substituent gets the least position. So this is the right way of numbering. And now you have to prefix the name of the substituent. What is the name of this substituent? It is methyl or methyl. Prefix means you have to attach it to the beginning of the parent name. What is the parent alkane here? You have 4 carbon atoms. When you have 4 carbon atoms, but. And since you're talking about alkane, it is obviously butane. So now the parent alkane name is butane. Now you have to attach the substituent name. You have to prefix it, which means you have to attach it in the front side. So what is the name of the substituent? Methyl. So methyl butane. While doing that, you have to mention the number to which this substituent is attached. To which carbon it is attached? Second carbon. So 2-methyl butane. This is the proper way of naming the branched chain alkane. 2-methyl butane, which means you have 4 carbon atoms. It is an alkane, and in the second position of this butane chain, what is attached? Methyl is attached. Now look at this example. I'm choosing this as the longest chain. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you take this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, same number of carbon atoms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you can either choose this as the parent chain or this as the parent chain. Either ways, you're getting ethyl as the substituent. So I'm preferring this straight chain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In this carbon, what is attached? Ethyl group is attached. So this is the substituent. So what name you would give to this substituent? 2 carbon atoms, ethyl. So if I number from this side, 1, 2, 3, 4, this substituent gets the 4th position. This way it is getting the 3rd position. So obviously you have to choose the lowest numbering. So this is the proper way of numbering. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 carbon atoms, hexane, because this is an alkane. So hexane. In 3rd position I have ethyl. So 3 ethyl hexane. And the name of the substituent is separated from its locant by a hyphen. You have to put a hyphen between the locant and the substituents. So 3-ethyl hexane is the name of this compound. In these two examples that we have seen, we had just only one substituent. Here I had methyl, here I had ethyl. Suppose if I have 2 or more alkyl groups, which means the substituents on the parent chain, then how to name them? Each alkyl group should be prefixed by its positional number, and it is arranged in alphabetical order before the name of the parent alkane. Now look at this example. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 carbon atoms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again 6 carbon atoms. Here you are getting the same number of carbon atoms in both the ways. In such cases, you have to look at the substituents. The chain which has more number of substituent is chosen as the parent chain. Now look here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 carbon atoms. If I choose this as the parent chain, I will be having 1 and 2 substituents. 1 methyl and 1 ethyl. So 2 substituents are possible. So keep that in mind. Now suppose if I'm choosing this as the longest chain, because here also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 carbon atoms are there. If I choose this as the parent chain, how many substituent I have? I just have only one substituent. We call this as a complex substituent. We have different set of rules to name this. So you just look at the count alone. How many substituents we have? If you choose this as the longest chain, only one substituent, then this is not the right way to choose the parent chain. So remember, when you're choosing the parent chain, prefer the one with more number of substituents. So I'm preferring this as the parent chain. So now 6 carbon atoms are there. So what would be the name? Parent alkane name, hexane. 6 carbon atoms, 6, alkane, ANE, so hexane. Now when I am numbering 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here this methyl gets the 2nd position, ethyl gets the 3rd position. So that set of locants will be 2, 3. Keep that in mind. Suppose if I am numbering from this side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What will be the set of locants? 4, 5. So obviously this way you're getting 2, 3. This way you're getting 4, 5. So which one you would choose? The lowest set of locants, 2, 3. So you have to start numbering from this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'll write the numbers there. So 6 carbon atoms, parent name is hexane. In the 2nd position, I have a methyl group. In 3rd position, I have ethyl group. And I have to prefix these substituent names to the parent name. I should say 2-methyl, 3-ethyl hexane. Now the question is whether methyl should come first or ethyl should come first in the name. Then go by the alphabetical order. E comes first and then M. So 3-ethyl, 2-methyl hexane. Ethyl E, methyl starts with M. So in alphabetical order, you have to name the substituents when you give the IUPAC name. So in 3rd position, you have ethyl. You have to mention the position of this ethyl in this parent chain in 3rd carbon atom. So 3-ethyl, 2-methyl hexane is the name of this organic compound. Let's see one more example. See, this seems to be a little complicated compound. Now let's decide on the parent chain. So let's start counting from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 carbon atoms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 carbon atoms. Let me start from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 carbon atoms. So obviously this is going to be my parent chain because that is the longest chain. So 7 carbon atoms, what would be the name? Heptane. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Either ways, I'm getting 7 carbon atoms. So the name would be heptane. Now, if I choose this as the parent chain, what are the substituents I have? I have a methyl group attached to this carbon and I have an ethyl group attached to this carbon. So when you start numbering from here, 1, 2, 3, methyl gets the third position, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. In fourth position, I have ethyl group. So in third position, methyl, fourth position, ethyl. Suppose if I'm starting the number from here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Fourth position, ethyl. No change in the position of ethyl. But 5, 6, fifth position is allotted to methyl group. So that's not right. You should go by the set of locants rule. So you're going to choose the least way of numbering, least position to the substituent. So this way of numbering is correct. So I'm going to start from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 carbon atoms, heptane. And in third position, methyl. Fourth position, ethyl. So alphabetical order, ethyl should come first. So 4 ethyl, 3 methyl, heptane is the name of this compound. Here when we numbered these parent chain, I told you this way methyl is getting the second position, ethyl is getting the third position. This way ethyl is getting 4, methyl is getting 5. What if in either ways you get the same set of locants? Now look at this example. This is chosen as the longest chain, as the parent chain, because it has 7 carbon atoms. So when you choose this as the parent chain, you have 2 substituents, an ethyl group and a methyl group. Now if I number from this side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, ethyl gets the third position, methyl gets the fifth position. So what would be the set of locants? 3, 5. Now when I number from this side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, here methyl gets the third position, ethyl gets the fifth position. Now also the set of locant is 3, 5. So in both the ways, set of locants is same, but methyl and ethyl are getting different positions. So in such cases, see, the numbering of the parent chain is done in such a way that the alkyl group, which comes first in the alphabetical order, gets the lower number. For example, here we have ethyl and methyl, E and M, which comes first in the alphabetical order, ethyl. So ethyl is given the lowest number. So ethyl should be given 3 and methyl should be given 5. So which way of numbering is correct? This way. So if you number it this way, ethyl is getting third position, methyl is getting the fifth position. So you're choosing this to be the correct way of numbering. So your name would be 7 carbon atoms, heptane, third position, ethyl, fifth position, methyl, 3 ethyl, 5 methyl, heptane is the correct name. This problem comes when the numbering of different alkyl groups are at equivalent positions. See, both way you're getting the same set of locants. Then you have to choose the way of numbering where the one with the lowest alphabetical order gets the least position. So when compared to ethyl and methyl, ethyl should be given the least position, and that way the numbering is chosen. So go through these rules and get thorough with the rules that should be followed while naming an organic compound. Then in the next video we will see a few more rules, and then we will move on to examples and try to name those compounds following these rules. Thank you.